Hey everybody, I'm jumping on real quick. This is Rachel Smith with Real with Rachel. I was getting ready this morning and started to think about some things that were a little bit frustrating as I was going through the MLS looking at pictures the other night or last night. And I was like, you know what? I feel like this is heavy on my head. I want to go ahead and just quick go over some things, some tips and tricks that are outside the normal declutter and paint type of thing for sellers. I'm going through some of these pictures and I'm like, oh my goodness gracious. I think that we need to talk about it. So real quick, while I'm getting my kids ready, they're eating their breakfast, and I was like, let me just jump on real quick, do a quick recording, and send it out for all of these sellers that are prepping to get their home ready, either right now or in the future, whenever. Just some things that were on my mind. So don't mind me. I don't even have my mic that's attached to me. But just some quick things. And when I go back and edit it, I'll try and see if I can add some pictures as well. So what I was thinking is, gosh, most of these sellers get the normal rundown of the declutter, the paint, the clean up, minimize, the less is more, which is all very, 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 very true. But there are some things that I've seen, again, either in pictures or while I'm out showing houses, that just are like, if you just did this one little thing or tweaked it a little bit different, I think you would see a bigger return. With that said, some do's and don'ts. Let's start off with some don'ts. Don't. Guys, if you are planning to sell and you're prepping, if you are planning to sell in the future and you're like, you know what, these floors are just a hot mess, we've got to get rid of them, please don't put down the cheapest laminate floors that you can find, especially laminate floors that will wick water if water gets in between the seams and then it starts to bubble in between the seams. Don't do it. Reach out to that professional. If you're able to spend just a little bit more to do a higher grade laminate, cool, do it, please. The next thing is make sure that it's continuous and flowing. Please don't have 5 different types of floorings throughout your house. I think that's going to be a key thing. You want to, my coffee's not kicking in yet. You want to make sure that there's consistent flow. So I see either in pictures or while I'm out doing showings, you'll see literally 5 different types of floors. Carpet, hardwood, laminate, ceramic tile. You want to keep a consistent flow, and that's going to make the house feel a little bit more open and welcoming, a little bit larger as well if you have a small space. Definitely don't break it up. So again, if you're going to do anything with floors, please make sure that it's not the cheapest low bottom grade that's going to get hurt when water lands on it or anything else like that. Or where you can see the computer print, the pixels, how it's pixelated. If you look down at it, oh my gosh, this is so cheap. You can see the little print where it shows up on the flooring. I think that's something else that's kind of like, let's just take it up a little bit more, a little bit above the lowest, or just don't do it, right? Best thing obviously is going to be to consult a professional. But the other thing is just don't clash with the floors. So if you are going to do something with your floors, do it all, right? Do it all, or do it appropriately per room. If you're doing the kitchen, do a flooring that is wise to do in the kitchen, whether it be a laminate or ceramic tile or hardwood. We're seeing a lot of hardwood that's flowing throughout the whole main level floor. The next thing, while we're talking about the kitchen, take the magnets off the fridge. It is so distracting when you're going through pictures. Let's talk about pictures for a second. The first thing you're going to see is the details, or you want to know details about that specific seller's life. So take the magnets off the fridge. That's something I always say. If you have to have them up for school stuff or anything else in between, move them to the sides of the fridge, not necessarily on the front. You want to keep that fridge nice and clean and clear so that you're displaying that appliance that's going to convey with the property. So move your magnets. The next thing is don't leave toys out. Guys, I have 5 children. 5. Yes, they are all mine. I have 5 of them. I have toys in every nook and cranny. Let me tell you about all the Legos that I have stepped on. I probably have permanent Lego marks in the bottom of my feet. But put all your toys away. Hide them. Put them up in the cabinet somewhere. That might fall under the declutter category where you want to get rid of some of those toys, start donating them. Now is a great time of the year to start doing that, but hide the toys. If you have a playroom and it's organized, I think that's fabulous to showcase, hey, this is a little bit of a playroom area, but keep it organized and neat, not necessarily piles of toys in different areas of the room, but keep it, again, organized. I'm one of these that want everything on the floor. I like the shelving. You want to draw your eye up. So if you have the shelving to put the toys up there, please do that. But get rid of the toys. That's going to be for inside and outside. Also be mindful of the garage, having bikes and things like that. Again, we want to kind of depersonalize the home, and when you have toys in place, I think a few here and there to show, hey, this is a family home, that's great. But when it's taking over multiple spaces, that's a no-no. All right, so the next one, organized closets. I cannot begin to tell you how many times I've been with people and we're looking in their closets, and that can be a deterrent based on organization. It's a human thing, guys. I know it stinks, but organize your closets. At least the main ones, right? Ones down in the basement where you're storing. Most common storage is most common people and buyers know, hey, look, these guys are moving. They've got boxes everywhere. That's okay, I got it. All right. But your upstairs closets, your master closets, even your kids' closets, and more importantly, your coat closet, keep that organized. Your pantry, organize that as well. Get your closets in line. I see a lot of sellers now are really going above and beyond, and they're organizing their cabinets too. People open cabinets. People open your cabinets. It stinks, but it happens. And that, again, is going to send some type of signal, and it's going to resonate in a buyer's brain as to how organized they are. Okay, if they're taking care of this part of their house that's in their cabinets kind of hidden, okay, that means that they're probably loving and doing the right things maintenance-wise with the bigger, more important items as well. It's a psychological thing. Keep the closets organized, even color-coded. That's something I kind of picked the habit up of. With my closet, you know, I want all the reds that weren't, you know, it's kind of color coded. I've got the reds through the blues and the whites and the blacks. That's another key thing, and it's pretty simple. Even if you're just like, okay, let me just put all my red stuff here, orange. It just, again, it's a trickery with the mind of organization. All right, so please don't leave stuff on the counters. I see this also with pictures. Yes, we all have a coffee maker. Yes, we all live life. Yes, we all have plates. Yes, we all have decor, but less is more. We really want to showcase that counter space. There were some counters I was looking at and I saw everything was clear except for the napkin holder. Okay, it's fine to have some minute items, but all I could think about, and I don't know if this is just because I'm a realtor or what, but all I could see while I'm staring at this kitchen is the napkin holder right there, center. Okay, guys, just take it down so that your eye isn't distracted. Think about distractions and instant gratification, what's appealing to the eye. Clean off your counters, coffee maker stain, all right, that's cool. Little smaller appliances that might be kind of a showcase piece. Hey, this will be awesome. This is where we keep our stuff. This is good for you to keep your stuff too. That, I get it, but not, just declutter it, guys. That's a big declutterer. We're going to revert back to the normal do's and don'ts of getting ready to sell. Take everything off your counters. And then also your soap dispensers. If you've got lots of them, take your soap dispensers off, your washcloths, your sponges, get it all down. Remember, we think model home. All right, next thing, pet stuff. Hide all your pet stuff. I love dogs. I love animals. But I don't want to be distracted when I'm looking through pictures. And a lot of buyers think, and that can be a turnoff, okay, people that don't have dogs or cats or whatever, oh man, they've got a dog or a cat, you know, even like when you see it on Facebook Marketplace and they're talking about from a smoke-free, pet-free home, there's your sign. Get rid of all of your pet stuff, hide it. We all love Fido, but please, we don't want to put his stuff on display. With that said, do. While you're painting, paint your trim. That is a huge thing for me. If you don't have a lot of trim and you feel like, hey, that might jazz it up a little bit, add a little bit of trim, a little bit of chair rail, a little bit of crown molding, nice fresh paint on the trim. Paint the doors. So I'm not talking about just painting the walls, but also paint the trim work that surrounds them and any fancy detail trim work in between. It's really going to take it up a notch. You would be surprised at how much buyers really like a little bit of trim work to tie up the loose ends. The next thing, trim detail, we got that. Paint your shutters outside. If we're talking about outside, a lot of FHA loans, VA loans, you cannot have peeling paint, right? An appraiser's going to call that out when they do the appraisal and they're acting like a mini inspector for the bank. Go ahead, do it now. Paint the trim. Make sure it's fresh and clean before pictures as well as your shutters. I see a lot of houses that have the faded shutters. Guys, get up there on a ladder or pull them down. Lean out your window safely and paint the shutters. You can spray them. You can do whatever. There's plenty of paints out there that are for exterior grade use. It's really not that hard, and it adds that polishing, finishing touch. It's like the mascara to the face. Everybody knows I like to talk about makeup. All right, with that said, we're going to jump back inside. Replace your carpet. If you have a house that was built within the last 10 years and it has carpet, especially builder grade, just replace it. This is something that I am like, hey, you know what, a cheaper end, that's okay, or even an upper level. just replace it. Carpet's one of those things that's just, again, you know, my favorite word right now is stigma. That can create a stigma like, okay, that's disgusting. There's stuff in there. People's other, you know, dander and pet stuff and everything else is in there. Just replace it. It's a pretty low cost investment. So I would replace any carpet that you have unless you've done it within the last 2 years or it's in great shape. Go ahead and have it cleaned, but give attention to the carpet. And then again, right before pictures or showings, get those vacuum lines going. Do some of the vacuuming that show the lines. So we're replacing the carpet, even if it's cheap, or at least get a clean pro. For your pictures, light your fireplace. If you have a fireplace, showcase it. If you have a fireplace, showcase it. Have it lit during pictures, or, you know, if you're not comfortable lighting it or you didn't want to turn it on for any rhyme or reason, ask if the photographer can edit in a flame, but make sure that your fireplace is operational because we don't want false advertising. The next thing, this is the biggest thing for me, and it's even in my own house, and with all my equipment I've got going on behind me, it drives me crazy. Hide your cords. If you have a TV that's hanging on the wall, let's talk about how we can hide those cords. Even if it's unplugging the cords for pictures, that is optimal. It is a distraction. It's a distraction. Again, reverting back to that instant gratification when you're looking through pictures. I'm distracted when I see a cord hanging out. It just takes away from it. So hide all your cords. That's just something I think is very, very key. With lights, like big lamps and things like that, if you can tuck them away or line them up with a leg of a table or something along those lines to keep it so that it's streamlined, that would be the most optimal thing for you guys to do. But the cords, I think, really, really bug me out, especially cords on the coming from the TVs. I get it. We all have cords. If you can't put it in your wall or figure out a way to get it, hey, that's fine. But at least for pictures, take it away, right? Because the cords in pictures just, maybe my OCD is kicking in. I don't know. That is something that I suggest be done. The other thing, if we are going to talk about outside, I think, yes, have your grass cut. Yes, curb appeal is key. Another big thing, I think, is edging. Right? It's a pretty simple thing to do. Edge it out. Edge out your sidewalk. Edge out your flower bed. Fresh mulch. Something that I like to do when I cheat throughout the seasons because I like black mulch. I'll just get one bag of black mulch or whatever, however my husband likes to do it, and I'll just sprinkle a little touch up, right? So it looks like it's fresh. So I'm not redoing my whole mulch bed, but I'm going to sprinkle some new mulch throughout just to make it look like it's fresh and new. The other thing is wreaths. You know what I mean. Put one on your front door. Primarily not seasonal. If you can get a nice green one that just is a pop, something I like to do is put on seasonal bows, or I'll change out my wreaths, depending on the season. Or like I said, add a little bow or a little decor for fall, you know. Put some leaves in there. I think that something on the door that's clean cut and simple really draws your eye up as well and makes that front door, the entryway to the home, pop. And again, that would be after you freshly paint your door. I think that's another thing that would kind of coincide with painting the trim. And I think that's it. So just some things that were kind of on my mind, I jotted down. If you're going to stage, don't necessarily stage to season, so to say. Do I love going through the MLS and seeing some of those pictures that are Christmas oriented? Oh my gosh, I do. But I love seeing it in November and December. Come January 15th when we're all heaven and hauling to get our Christmas decor out, I don't want to see it. So I think the best thing to do if you're going to be staging seasonally is do it so that it's not overbearing and overpowering. I'm not a big fan to stage for seasonal things, but in a market like this, if it's hot, maybe a mum on the front porch or something along those lines for fall time, okay, I get it. Speaking of fall, blow off all the leaves before the photographer gets there. That is a distraction. Leaf, squirrel. Leaf, blow them off. Blow off your front porch. Get rid of any of that debris. But yeah, I think that's about it. I'm going to go put my kids in the car and take them to school. Just wanted a quick jump on while it was top of mind, and I will catch you guys on the next scheduled Reel with Rachel. Bye.